Man, Trump is a goddamn liar. His people are liars. Hell, as a matter of fact, the mainstream media is some damn liars. Ain't no way on God's green earth that this man got shot in the ear with an AR-15. No way, no shape, no form, no how. No way. If Trump would have got shot in the ear with an AR-15, Trump would have no ear left. There's no way you're going to get shot in the ear with an AR-15. I don't care if it wings you. And you're going to have all of your ear. It would. Even if it fly past your ear, it will rip off most of your ear. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you what the power of this weapon actually has in a video. We're going to watch it together. Watch this video.
They are known as assault-style weapons and have been used in some of the country's deadliest shootings. From Uvalde, Tulsa, and El Paso to Parkland, San Bernardino, and Sandy Hook, the high-powered assault rifle has been the weapon of choice for many of the killers.
Line is hot.
The Los Angeles Police Department demonstrates an AR-style semi-automatic rifle for us on the department's gun range.
You have a 16-inch to 20-inch barrel. You have a stock that is shouldered. You are going to be accurate at farther distances as opposed to a pistol.
Not to mention, like some other weapons, it can fire a bullet with enough power to...
Let's look at the size of that bullet. Look at the size of that goddamn bullet. The cartridges on it is as big as a 30-30. That is a humongous bullet. Okay, that's a humongous sized bullet. Look at Trump's ear. That big ass bullet caused that little bit of damage on your mother. You know what? Let me take y'all back here. Let's just keep listening.
It can fire a bullet with enough power to pierce soft body armor, something Sergeant James Zaborovan knows firsthand.
Oh, Jesus. It's definitely an automatic weapon.
He took assault weapons fire during the now infamous 1997 North Hollywood shootout, where two bank robbers wearing body armor fired on police for nearly an hour, injuring 8 people and 12 officers, including Sergeant Zaborovan.
You're being hit with pieces of the vehicles we were hiding behind, asphalt, radiator fluid. Felt like we were being stung by bees.
They were getting hit from the AR-15 bullets as they hit the car, shrapnel from the car, as it hit the ground, asphalt, went into the engines. They was getting hit with radiator fluid. He said it felt like they were being stung by bees, which means wherever that bullet hits, it's going to send shrapnel everywhere of all kinds. Listen to what he said. Listen.
The vehicles we were hiding behind, asphalt, radiator fluid. Felt like we were being stung by bees.
Take a look at Trump here again. Oh, look like he got stung by a bee. I'm not saying this guy didn't have an AR-15 firing at Trump. But there's no way the bullet I just showed you, as big as it is, went through Trump's ear and left his whole ear. No way. Let me show y'all how powerful. Let me show you how powerful this bullet is. Let's continue to watch this.
That shooting changed policy, prompting the LAPD and other departments to upgrade their own weaponry to counter the increasingly powerful guns used by assailants. That firepower from weapons is studied inside a ballistics lab at Wayne State University, where researchers simulate a bullet's impact on the human body.
It's a block of 20% gelatin, and it's meant to represent the human tissues, so soft tissues.
Watch as Cynthia Burr's team fires a handgun round at 1,000 feet per second into the gelatin block.
For this particular round, you'll see the bullet come in on this side. You see this temporary cavity here happening. So that expansion is what happens in the body, and then it collapses down. So that's where your damage comes in.
Now watch as the team fires a round from an assault rifle.
We see a lot more disruption. This round actually breaks apart. It doesn't exit, so it's about 3,000 feet per second, and all of that energy goes into the soft tissue. We have a piece of plastic here to reflect to do the videos, and it actually lifted the plastic up off the table with the energy.
An aftermath photo of the handgun round shows a relatively straight line through the tissue, exiting the other side. But not so with the round from an AR-15.
It basically goes into the body and creates an explosion inside the body.
Trauma surgeons say the wound from an assault rifle can be catastrophic.
And the worst part is in a child, all the vital organs are that much closer together. So each of those bullets causes, irreversible damage.
In Uvalde, Texas, families were asked for DNA swabs to help the authorities identify their children.
As a mom, it really affects me, right? Because I cannot imagine having a child endure this.
And with high-capacity magazines, suspects can shoot.
Look at how big those bullets are going into that gun. Look at those bullets, yo. And that hit Trump in the ear.
Now, the discussion about high-capacity magazines largely centers on reducing the amount of time that a suspect can fire without having to reload. As a former FBI agent, we were trained to quickly get your weapon reloaded and back up on target. But for a suspect, for example, who isn't trained, you can see using this training weapon, that is a process. It involves removing the empty magazine, obtaining a fresh round of ammunition, loading it into the weapon, charging the weapon, getting it back up on target. Those are all precious seconds where victims can be fleeing, the gun can jam, or the suspect could be engaged by law enforcement or bystanders.
Knowing the damage that sustained firepower can do, researchers hope their critical findings lead to awareness.
Regardless of where one comes down on the gun control debate, it's indisputable that the assault weapon causes significant damage inside the body.
Definitely, but this is the reality. This is what's happening.
Now, Jake, although the Justice Department says that handguns have been used in most mass shootings, it's important to note that the deadliest mass shooters have opted for this AR-15 style weapon. And you can see why. That ballistic demonstration there in our story shows you the disastrous impact that this weapon can have on the human body. Jake, this weapon that was designed originally for the use by soldiers on the battlefield is now causing unspeakable carnage here at home. Jake.
Josh Campbell, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's bring in CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, to get the other end of this coverage. Sanjay, today a pediatrician on the Hill described witnessing what he calls the carnage in my hometown of Uvalde during the hearing. Take a listen.
What I did find was something no prayer will ever relieve. 2 children whose bodies have been pulverized by bullets fired at them, decapitated, whose flesh had been ripped apart, that the only clue as their identities was a blood-splattered cartoon clothes still clinging to them, clinging for life and finding none.
Explain. Why are bullets from rifles such as an AR-15 or an AR-15 style weapon so much more destructive to the human body than others?
That's hard to hear, Jake, first of all, but it's all about the energy of the round, and what's interesting is that it's not even necessarily about the size of the round, size of the bullet. Some people think it's a bigger bullet. Not necessarily. They can be smaller bullets. It's about the velocity. It's velocity times the mass of the bullet, but it's just going so much faster coming out of one of these AR-15 type rifles that overall the amount of energy that is then transferred into the body is much, much higher. The process that Josh was talking about is something known as cavitation. It literally causes cavities within the body, whereas a handgun, for example, much less energy, will go straight through a linear line, a bullet-sized line through that. With the rifle, because of that energy, it creates that cavity instead.
You have witnessed injuries like these firsthand when you were in Iraq covering the war there. Tell us what you saw.
Yeah, and you know, when I was in Iraq, you may remember, Jake, that was during the time that there was a ban on these types of weapons. So we weren't seeing a lot of these types of injuries here in the United States. So for the first time for me was really on the battlefields. And it's tough to describe even. I mean, you know, limbs really kind of blown off. People who came in initially into these
Limbs blown off. Limbs! Look at Trump's ear again. He got his whole goddamn ear. Come on, y'all. I've shown y'all enough. Y'all have heard enough. Use your eyes and use your brain. That man did not get hit in any way, shape, form, or fashion by an AR-15 bullet. Period. I'm getting calls. For real, I'm getting calls, man. I'm getting calls while I'm making this video. They're calling me while I'm making this joint. Straight up. He did not get hit by no AR-15. No way. Look at his ear. Look like something right there is stuck in his ear. But he didn't get hit by a bullet, yo. Trump running around here acting like he Abraham Lincoln. JFK. All he talked about at the Republican National Convention was how close he came to death. And it hit me in the ear. And when I touched my ear, I knew it was worse than I thought it was. Had I turned my head 1 inch to the left, or 1 inch to the right, that bullet would have knocked me out of sight. Look. We're going to deal with that picture next. Where that picture at? Oh, here it is. I know where it's at. We're going to deal with that picture next, yo. Of the bullet going past Trump's head. Here it is, right here. Look at this, y'all. You can't really tell. It looks like this book, whatever this is flying in this direction. It's a little streak. But I've blown it up and you don't see no bullet in this. Ain't no bullet in that. If this is an AR-15 bullet, it's about 25 to 30 feet behind the head of the President of the United States. If this was an AR-15 bullet hitting Trump in the ear, which it would have took all of his ear, you would see blood splashing right here and blood definitely splashing back here because it would have pulled everything in this direction. You might even see parts of his ear. That's not no AR-15 bullet. Going past the head of the ex-president of the United States. Come on, y'all. Let's look at the size of these bullets, yo. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up, yo. Y'all need to look at the size of these goddamn bullets. That ain't no bullet that big went through no damn Trump's. Ain't no bullet that big went through no Trump. Ear. It's a lie. It's a lie.
The Los Angeles Police Department demonstrates an AR-style semi-automatic rifle for us on the department's gun range.
You have a 16-inch to 20-inch barrel. You have a stock that is shouldered. You're going to be accurate
Let's
at
look at
farther
it again,
distances
y'all.
as opposed to a pistol.
Not to mention, like some other weapons, it can fire a bullet with enough power.
Let's go back and look at the size of that fucking bullet.
Not to mention,
Oh my God. Let's get the words out the way, y'all.
like some other.
Look at that. All that's gunpowder. That's what hits Trump. All this is gunpowder. That's why it moves so fast. It's got so much explosive power in it when it's fired. This, probably about more copper down in here, is what hit Trump. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at the size of that bullet, yo. And he got his whole ear left. His whole motherfucking ear. I don't mean to curse, y'all. But we need to stop being so easy to be lied to, y'all. This is an example of the lies they tell us. The media, everybody. You know from the video you just seen behind a bullet that comes from the gun, the AR-15, that this man was not winged by an AR-15 bullet. Telling you. That ain't no AR-15 bullet flying behind his head. If it is, it's 20 to 30 feet away from the president's head. We're being lied to, y'all. And we need to stop letting them think they could just tell us bullshit like this. This a video y'all definitely need to share. Y'all need to share this. Fight. Shut your lying ass. Shut your lying ass up. Look at that shit. Whole ear. But he got hit with one of the most devastating bullets used by the military, the United States military. Come on, y'all. Wake up. For real. I need y'all to wake up, yo. It's time. You're being lied to. Manipulated. Once again, bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok. Don't be a schmuck. Use your brain and your eyes. He was not shot by an AR-15 bullet. Peace, love, and prosperity. But wake up.